Hello there.
Hello, people.
How you here?
My name is Lola.
Well, we want to discuss an issue that happened recently. A popular person in Nigeria, a celebrity, you know, was found in a ruckus. That's what I call it. And allegedly, we saw that a video surfaced online whereby we saw this celebrity with some airport staff that were trying to, I don't know, maybe they were pleading with him, maybe they wanted to take him away beside an airplane that was about to taxi for the runway, because the airplane had been cleared for takeoff. So when I saw the video, I was like, what's this celebrity doing beside an airplane that is about to proceed, to the runway? And I saw that he hadn't even, left the area where the airplane was while the airplane was trying to proceed to the runway. And as soon as the plane was about to proceed to the runway, it was almost becoming a scenario where there was a collision, and in that instance...
Is that collision or run over?
Well, collision will lead to run over now, almost run over or collision as the case may be, right? And in my head, I'm like, this is really crazy. That's just the word. Because I can't imagine myself even hearing the sound of the engine of the airplane, running at certain speed, I will run away naturally. I won't even dare stay near the airplane, Whenever I'm even coming down from the airplane, that little sound that we always hear, there is always, the engine is not even yet moving at its full capacity, or even at its proceeding to runway capacity. I am always looking at like, wow, there's that sound that you'll be hearing each time you're coming down from the plane. But I saw this celebrity was still staying beside the plane when you heard that engine sound, getting the plane ready to take off, and it was still there. But we thank God that it was smart enough to weave it because the wing of the plane was almost...
To jump out of the way.
No, he didn't even jump, he bent down. The wing of the plane was almost going to hit him, and in all fairness, it's sounding funny right now that we're saying it, but it's not funny, because everything in my head was like, first and foremost, what's this guy doing there? What was he doing there? Because I feel like, the airports have strict protocol, right? And so for me, like, what was he doing there? Even when one is on about to board and we're about to taxi to the runway, one of the things I quickly noticed that every airport staff is out of the way. That's one of the... It's just probably I don't know, maybe the air controller that is speaking with the pilot, and then the pilot is moving. I don't know. Each time I look out of the window, most of the things I see is that I see all those guys that probably had helped us put our luggages in the plane. They are moving away with their equipment, moving, clearing off, the plane. But how come there's like 5 people, trying to plead with, somebody, and and at the end of the day, again, I'm like, you're not even an airport staff. So even if you're an airport staff, I know that you yourself already know certain areas where you not stay beside the plane when the plane is really on and is ready to move to the runway. So quite surprising, and a number of things are running through my mind. But for today, I would love to hear from Lola. What do you have to say to that? Did you see the video? Let's start from there.
I saw the video.
So what came to your mind?
Well, I think that coming from the judgment that has been meted out to the pilot and the celebrity in question, my actual thought is that that's not that's a cover up in a way to me, because safety is enforced, and it's like both of them were scapegoated. And not to say that they don't deserve the punishment they are getting, but I feel they were scapegoated in this sense. Safety is enforced, And there are people that have like oversight over the airport, maybe daily, they have shifts. If those two people are being punished, the pilot and the celebrity, then the people that were supervisors on duty when that thing happened, whether with various core aspects of the airport, should also be penalized. And we should be allowed to know what happened to them, because if that man is somebody that flies a lot, and for 3, 4, maybe 5 officials of the airport to gather around him, I watched the video and it seemed like their body language was even a bit too relaxed to be there. If it had been prevented, as in, it had not even been allowed at all to get there, which is the job of the people managing the airports, they are not supposed to allow him to get there. He wasn't brandishing a gun. He wasn't brandishing anything. Where they say they ran, they gathered around him. And I watched an explainer by someone I would call maybe a legal influencer. And he explained some of the laws backing this thing. And I heard him say, he said that for the issue of, obstruction, and he said the person and the accomplices. And in that case, he kind of said the accomplices are people that were there, knowing the dangers and everything, and they were still standing there. So those airport officials are like accomplices. But I won't even blame I don't know the rank of the people there. You might be surprised to find out that there are even top Air Force officials doing that, pleading with him and doing all that. If they had bundled the person out, or they had tasered him or something, there will be no video, there will be no incident. And that pilot, in a way, apart from the fact that, the one that really stood out and is weighty is the issue of maybe the emotional control and control of impulse, which is a very big issue for a pilot.
Yes.
But the people that are supposed to be doing their job, they kind of put that pilot in that position. And not excusing the unruliness of the celebrity in question, they kind of also put him there, because it's whatever unruliness, whatever big manism, whatever show of you can't control me, it should have been pegged that he won't even get there at all.
Exactly.
So punishing those two people and then making them the star of the show is not correct. And I think Nigerians, we should question the Ministry of Aviation more about what they have done to the people that have oversight, what they have done to them, what did they do? Because they should be penalized, that you were here, you watched this happen. And I'm going to say something, with the amount of begging that goes on in the airport sometimes, I won't be surprised that some of them allowed this because they were thinking they will curry favors from that person, because it shouldn't have been there at all. They should have prevented that. Maybe the story you have been hearing that maybe he tried to do something and they bungled him, or security people held him down, or they tasered him or something.
Exactly.
Not this. So no matter how much they try to punish them, it's a very bad reflection of the whole system. And I will say again, the officials, their body language wasn't so urgent that, please leave this place, leave this place. So it looks like hope is not something you people have been doing casually, escorting people and talking to them. And because this kind of incident came up a few months ago, they said somebody that was a senator or something, there were accusations, there was no video, they said he too tried to stop a plane. So what is happening with the people that are supposed to stop people from trying to stop a plane?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll just leave it there and let you share.
Well, for me, right, like you said, what we saw in that video was the result of, certain people failing in their role. That's just the word.
Yes.
Because from the statements that I've seen online, and what Ministry of Aviation has said was that this popular person wanted to proceed with a particular liquid that they felt was not permitted, or not that they felt, that they knew was not permitted on the plane. And they told him, you have to drop this liquid, you can't take it, aboard this flight. And he insisted that he wanted to go with that particular liquid on the flight. And, there happened to be an altercation between him and some of the, flight attendants, I guess. And even the pilot had to intervene at some point, and he still didn't, relent. in insisting that he wanted to go aboard with that liquid. And for me, at that instance, there are procedures to take to say, okay, we're going to call the airport staff, they're going to escort you,
Yes.
back to the boarding room, or they will escort you out of the airport to say, you are not obeying the rules, And when those kind of people come in, I expect that they will come in with force, irrespective of who you are.
Yes.
Because the scenario I saw was a situation where these people were failing. And in the first place, when you are boarding a flight, I noticed you're not allowed to take certain amount of liquid into the plane. That's the truth. So how did he get to take that first away from the boarding room? So question is, maybe there needs to be another small check. After that, when you are cleared by the customs to sit down at the boarding room, maybe after you're about to move from the boarding room to the airplane, because in the boarding room there are certain places that sell things. People buy drinks, people buy food while waiting for their flights to be ready, And so I think in this instance, each time anybody is trying to board again, they just check you a little and say, okay, let's see what's with you and all of that. I think that's the case here, because the celebrity was saying that
people are not doing their job.
Yeah, the celebrity was saying that it was the liquid that they gave him at the VIP lounge that he was trying to take. So for me, it wasn't that the customs guy failed to check him. He had been checked in, so it was now at the lounge that he took the drink and he wanted to take it aboard the flight, and they said no, this is not allowed. I think before he even gets to the plane, because this was happening maybe at the door of the plane, so maybe before he gets to that point, there should be a little check once you are moving out of the boarding room. So it wasn't a good scenario for us. It wasn't a good scenario for the aviation industry in Nigeria. But and I'm happy that they've acted swiftly, at least penalized few people. But I think, like you said, those people that are in charge, the security people that are supposed to take him off, take him off that particular airplane, didn't do their work. They were romancing him. Somebody's in the wrong and you're romancing him. No, that didn't look like you guys moved in with force. You guys really understood your job or what you were supposed to do. So that's what I feel, concerning it. We'd love to know what you feel as well. Have you seen the video? If you have seen the video, share your thoughts on it. And I believe that maybe someone that works there in the aviation industry may listen to this and improve on their system, or probably retrain some of their managers or the workers themselves. Scenarios like this don't happen all the time. So sometimes maybe they are forgotten some of the things they're supposed to do when things like this happen, and that's why maybe they were trying to be diplomatic, right? And again, maybe they were looking at him as a public figure.
Be diplomatic?
That's the point. Well, maybe because they were thinking that, he's a public figure and all of that, he's a celebrity, he's popular, he's close to power and all of that. But in this kind of situation, I think that is, you can be diplomatic with people that you feel they have influence and all of that. But the moment you have told them something, please, we're supposed to bungle you out of here. We're supposed to even probably put you on handcuffs. But because we recognize your person, we just say, let's take a walk, But once you don't do this, we'll be left with no choice than to quickly, swiftly, do our work, and whatever your eyes see, accept like that, So that's it. We'll be looking forward to see your comments. Please like, share. We also want to hear from you as well.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.